The Dell G15 is one of Dell's 2021 gaming laptops. Dropping in only June of this year, this computer is packed with a 3060 and an amazing 11th gen Intel Core processor. And I've had the chance to review this laptop, check it out, test out some games on it, and see what I thought of it, and I've made this video here for you today. So in this video, we're going to be breaking down the laptop, all the specs of the model that I have, and everything you need to know. So let's go. Before we go any further, massive thank you to the folks at Dell ANZ for sending me out this review unit of the Dell G15. I'll leave links to the Dell G15 in the description below and any information and specs in the description below as well. I've had a lot of fun checking it out and reviewing it, and I'm excited to share it with you in this video today. So first and foremost, let's talk about price. The Dell G15 starts at about $799 US or about 1,800 Australian dollars. The model that I have with the specific configuration is just over 2,000 Australian dollars. This computer has an i7-11800H Intel Core processor packed with 8 cores. It has a 6GB 3060 laptop GPU. The laptop comes with 16GB of RAM or physical memory with 512GB of storage. And the screen's refresh rate for this specific model is 120Hz. However, you can configure this higher to 165Hz. So when I heard about this laptop and how specced out it was and the price as a result, I was pretty interested to see how well it would perform. So let's talk about some other little spec details as well. On the computer, you only have 3 USB ports plus a USB-C. The USB ports are located 2 on the right-hand side and 1 at the back next to the charging port. The computer comes packed with an Ethernet port as well as a headphone jack. The battery pack is very similar to any other Dell or Alienware model laptop that you would have seen, with the big battery pack with the plug with a light around it. The keyboard on mine is the stock standard keyboard that comes. However, the keyboard can be configured if you choose when you buy it to a more customizable option through Alienware Command Center. I do not have the RGB customizable version. One great thing about this laptop is it's improved its cooling techniques through fans based on its Alienware components. Dell G15 series can have up to 53 fan blades, all 56mm in diameter. This helps it to really cool down a whole lot easier when you're gaming. That's a major problem for many gaming laptops, is that the computer gets quite warm when you're using it, and most people don't game off of an external keyboard when they're using a gaming laptop. They game straight off of the laptop keyboard. And that was one thing that I really did have to rave about with this laptop in my experiences, is the temperatures of it. So let's get into talking about temps. Stock standard, when you're doing nothing but kind of browsing or anything like that, the CPU sits around 60 to 64 degrees Celsius in temperature, which is nothing too concerning or to be worried about. But obviously what matters here is when you are gaming on the computer. I loaded up the brand new Battlefield 2042 and tried out a ton of games on that, monitoring the FPS and the temperatures. And using the NZXT cam software, I was able to identify, the patterns in temperature. The temperature for the CPU would kind of stick around the 88 to 94 point, depending on the heavier moments. Obviously, the higher bracket is going to be a heavier moment in your game. Now, do keep in mind, Battlefield 2042 is a very vast game, very large and demanding game on your computer, even on massive computers like full desktop rigs. So I was pleasantly surprised when I ran it on Ultra that it was able to still hold 60 FPS without getting too warm. Obviously, your sections where you've got vents or fan blades get rather warm, and these are usually towards the top of the keyboard and the back and sides of the computer where the vents are located. But in terms of the actual keyboard, the keyboard does not change in temperature, which is one of the most amazing things that I love about this machine. It's something that I've noticed a lot with gaming laptops, is that gaming laptops keyboards will tend to get quite warm as well with the computer as it increases in temperature, but this one did not, which I was really happy to see. Also coming with the G15 is its Game Shift or Turbo Boost mode. Essentially, this Game Shift Turbo Boost mode is where you press the function key and the F9 key, which is marked out with a G logo on it, and it will essentially turn your fans on to max power through Alienware Command Center. This will help your laptop just essentially keep a lot cooler, keep the air moving even faster if you're worried about it. I was not worried too much about the temperature of the computer at any point in time because I could see the temperature right in front of me, but I did still use Game Shift to see what it was able to do. Obviously, if we're talking about fans, we've got to talk about fan noise too. Fans aren't too bad on this computer. I've certainly seen a lot worse. When you throw it into Game Shift mode, of course, it's going to be a lot louder than when you're not throwing it in Game Shift mode because you are making the fans work overtime. So it is to be expected that the fans are going to be a little bit louder in Game Shift mode than traditionally. You can use Game Shift mode outside of a game as well. If you're editing in Photoshop or DaVinci Resolve or any editing software, you can still use this to just generally keep your computer running at its max performance. So let's talk a little bit more about my playtest of Battlefield 2042 on the laptop. I first and foremost wanted to see if it would perform well on Ultra, and I was pleasantly surprised to see it was holding around 60 to 70 FPS. But you can see that there were points in times where it did dip from the 60 to 70 FPS range, and there are points where it goes up above that. This is to be expected. It's going to happen on every machine, of course, and it is a brand new game too. But I thought it was a really interesting test to see how it would go on Ultra, and I was pleasantly surprised by it. The keyboard also felt quite nice to use as well. I really enjoy this kind of softer design for keys over a more hard design. I find hard texture designs to be better for a physical external keyboard that you'd use for a PC, or you plug an external into your laptop, as against one for a actual laptop. Talking more about Battlefield 2042, I threw it down to high to see how it performed on high, and it performed magnificently on high. You'll see some footage on screen of how it performed, and I thought it performed pretty well. You can see it kind of maintaining the 80 to 90 FPS, which is more my kind of target range when I'm playing a game. Obviously, if I have to use 60 FPS, I totally will, but if I can get a little bit higher into that 80, 90, or even 100, I'd like to be able to. For kind of comparison, comparing it to a desktop PC, just to see how it performed. My Alienware Aurora R11 has a 2080 Ti built into it, and I ran the game on Ultra on my PC one night to see how it compared. The Aurora R11 was only getting about 120, 130 FPS on Ultra. So I was pretty happy to see the Dell G15 keeping up on this kind of level of 70 to 80 FPS on Ultra, not necessarily at all times, but the vast majority of it. Obviously, this is a gaming computer, but I found this computer to be really great for so many other things as well. As the computer's got a 3060, it's great for photo editing, video editing, so much more. Obviously, as I have a YouTube channel, I do a lot of video editing. Testing out video editing on this was a lot of fun. However, if you are going to do something like that, I'd recommend plugging in an external mouse, as I would with kind of anything though. So let's talk about a little bit of the extra fun facts as well with the computer that I found out. The color used on the Dell G15 is a low VOC waterborne, environmentally friendly paint. They've taken on a new generation of gaming inspired designs that are also mindful of the environment around it. If you saw my Alienware M17R3 review last year, this is a very similar thing, and it's great to see this happening. I'll leave links to the Alienware M17R3 review up in the card above and in the description below. I also got the pleasure of checking out Windows 11 on it, as it's a brand new laptop. Most computers now that are coming out or that you're going to purchase are going to come with solely Windows 11 now. And Windows 11 did not impede on my gaming or working or anything like that, and it was really nice to actually get to try and test it out. I'll have a video coming out talking a little bit more about Windows 11, hopefully in the coming weeks. So in summary, I had a lot of fun playing with the Dell G15. I thought it was a really fun laptop, a really good size as well. I was always somebody who preferred a bigger size laptop because I could do more with it. I had numpads or anything like that. But the Dell G15 fit everything into a 15-inch laptop that I needed it to. I've got a numpad on this keyboard, which was great to see because not many 15 inches do come with a number pad. I don't know why I like a number pad so much, it's nice to have. The colors on the RGB keyboard are really nice as well, so if you do go with the option that allows you to customize the RGB keyboard, it's going to be pretty freaking awesome considering Alien FX's history with beautiful color designs. I was very interested to see how it performed, and I was really happy with its performance through Battlefield 2042. Battlefield 2042 was a lot of fun to play on this laptop, and it's just a lot of fun to play in general, but this laptop really showed that, you know, you don't necessarily need a PC in order to enjoy gaming. That if a laptop is more suited to your needs, then a laptop is totally going to work for you. However, just a regular piece of advice that I would suggest if you are in the market for a gaming laptop but don't know a lot about it, if you are planning to game on the laptop, I do advise plugging in the charger into the computer to allow it to run at full power at the one time. If you do not plug in the charger into the laptop, the computer will not be able to run at full power as it's running on battery mode. So do keep that in mind as well with anything I've said in this video, that I was using it in full power mode. I think my only potential gripe with this computer may potentially have been the number of USB ports. There are no USB ports on the left-hand side, and this probably is just a little bit of a personal kind of like my kind of taste kind of thing. I enjoy having a USB port on the left-hand side of my computer, as my mice have long cables, and I enjoy being able to wrap it around the computer when I'm seated at my desk. This isn't the end of the world, of course, it's just probably a personal taste thing, and you may very well be the same. So So for $799 US or about 1800 Australian, I think this is one of the best bang for your buck on the market in terms of gaming laptops right now. If you're in the market for a gaming laptop, I'd totally be looking into the Dell G15 to see if it fits your needs and what you're after. Packed with a 30 series and an amazing 11th gen processor, it's totally something to consider. But that wraps up this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you have any questions, concerns, or issues, I'd be more than happy to answer them in the comments section below. I'll do my very best to get back to you. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, consider giving the video a like and subscribing to the channel because I'm making more gaming setup tech videos here weekly on YouTube. Have a fantastic rest of your time zone, and until next time, bye-bye.